Cad Bane is one of the most deadly and proficient bounty hunters that has ever existed in the Star Wars mythos. Not only has he been a prevalent bounty hunter that has made his resurgence in the Book of Boba Fett, but over the course of the entire Clone Wars, he wasn't considered one of the best, but the best bounty hunter in the galaxy, being commissioned directly by both Dooku as well as Darth Sidious, and having worked directly with the likes of Darth Maul, as well as the Hutts in order to achieve high-level missions. Perhaps most notably, Cad Bane was hired with another group of bounty hunters who he led to ultimately assassinate Chancellor Palpatine, an event that was obviously a ruse and was obviously unsuccessful, but still nonetheless, Cad Bane was at the front of the line. One of the major reasons he's one of the most well-paid bounty hunters in the entire Star Wars galaxy is because of his proficiency against a single group. That group, of course, being the force-wielding monks that the galaxy calls the Jedi. Cad Bane considers himself a Jedi specialist, as well as those around him a Jedi specialist. And while many bounty hunters would outright refuse to touch a job that involved the Jedi, Cad Bane welcomed this. Deep down, Cad Bane was actually slightly obsessed with the Jedi. He respected them on some level in their ability to touch the Force, but he also took it upon himself to prove that he was superior to them and that the Jedi could be outwitted and were not invincible. Something that made Cad Bane highly respected, highly feared, and highly paid. But just how far did Cad Bane's obsession over the Jedi go? And where did this originate from? Why did Cad Bane become a Jedi specialist? And just how will this help him in the Book of Boba Fett? It is safe to say that in the Star Wars universe, if a bounty hunter can take out a Jedi, they can nearly take out any other being. Cad Bane's armor is specifically designed to counteract that of a Jedi, as well as other material that he may carry on him. He has jet boosters that help him fly around and evade Jedi. His blasters are also exceptionally powerful, far more powerful than that of a normal blaster. Something notable about Cad Bane is when fighting a Jedi, he always aims to disarm the Jedi rather than shoot them with a killing blow. That being most likely, a Jedi could use their lightsaber to deflect the blaster bolt back at him. That is why Bane on multiple occasions always seems to aim for the hilt, looking to disarm the Jedi before ultimately going for the killing blow, as a Jedi is far less without their lightsaber. When Cad Bane was a young bounty hunter, he, like many of us, had a hero. That hero's name was Jango Fett, and one of the main reasons why Cad Bane admired Jango so much was because of Jango's ability to consistently compete with the likes of the Jedi, these powerful beings that could touch the Force. Jango Fett had managed to kill, and not only killed outright, but kill with his bare hands. Before his ultimate demise on the planet of Geonosis, Jango Fett was considered the greatest bounty hunter that the galaxy had to offer, and it was because of this reputation that Cad Bane wanted to top Jango by doing exactly what Jango had done: hunt and kill Jedi. Unlike Jango Fett though, whose ancestors had been in constant wars with the Jedi, Cad Bane's ancestors or his family had had no run-ins with the Jedi at all. The Jedi had not wronged Cad Bane in any way, he simply saw them as a way to propel his own notoriety and power, not to mention his wealth. This is what Wikipedia has to say about the early career of Cad Bane. Born on the planet Duro, Cad Bane eventually became a bounty hunter. During the early stages of his career, Bane was briefly mentored by fellow bounty hunter Jango Fett. In time, Cad Bane would garner a reputation as a famous bounty hunter. Cad Bane began his career by tracking down bail jumpers and other low-level criminals in the slums of his hometown, when Bane eventually left his world to never return. Although he became attached to the financial reward of his missions, Cad Bane recognized that a reputation would be a necessary weapon for success in the war-torn climate that he sensed was on the horizon, actually being able to see the foresight of the Clone Wars before many other beings of the galaxy. In order to build a name for himself in the galactic community, Cad Bane decided to kill a Jedi, and thus took on a job from Arrakis Utau, the crime boss of the Scalari Consortium, a criminal organization based on the galactic capital of Coruscant. Cad Bane had heard many tales of the Jedi, and although he had never encountered one directly, he knew that they were very powerful, and most importantly, nearly impossible to kill and off limits to most bounty hunters. Therefore, Cad Bane knew that if he managed to kill a Jedi, his name would go down in fables, and more than that, he would be hired for far more jobs in the war to come. Therefore, Cad Bane believed that he could play his cards correctly and use the death of a single Jedi to his advantage, making him tons of profit during the war that was just on the horizon. First, Cad Bane was tasked with eliminating a Jedi who was threatening the operations of the criminal underworld. Bane worked independently of the gangster's bodyguards and placed a portable sensor field on the compound's roof, which eventually alerted him to the arrival of the Jedi. As the Jedi broke into the compound, Bane followed them from afar, noting the intruders' odd usage of several non-Jedi weapons such as a thermal detonator, as well as a long-hilted lightsaber that looked like it had been crafted onto a small pike. In addition, the Jedi appeared as though they were using a small jetpack attached to their feet, instead of utilizing the Force to jump through the air as Jedi normally would. Bane realized quickly that he was not in fact dealing with a Jedi, but instead an imposter that was using technology to mimic one. Ultimately, Cad Bane would call the imposter out on his faking the abilities of the Force. Bane then shot at the Jedi's lightsaber, having it removed from their hand, as well as disarming one of the jetpack boots. He then discovered that they were using toxic gas to mimic what would look like a Force choke to bystanders. Easily, Cad Bane then defeated the fake Jedi. But first though, Cad Bane had many questions as to exactly how they were able to achieve this technology that was very similar to a Jedi. Instead of killing the imposter outright, Cad Bane saw great potential in what the imposter could offer him, as he saw many of these abilities could be useful in fighting against the Jedi directly, and Cad Bane wanted to implement them into his own arsenal of weaponry, in order to again attain his original goal of killing a Jedi. Ultimately, Bane decided to spare the fake Jedi if he promised to show him everything about his technology, which he eventually agreed about. Basing his technology on that of the imposter, Cad Bane constructed a distinctive arsenal of weapons for himself, coming to rely on it in his own line of work. Cad Bane worked for the highest bidder, caring little for who employed him or the faction that his client represented, as long as he received his pay. His usual rate became quite considerable, and his allegiance to credits was so potent that if his quarry offered him a better fee, he had no qualms with turning on the original client. Eventually, the war that Cad Bane had foreseen did come on the horizon, at which point he would finally get his opportunity to prove himself against the Jedi. Over the course of the Clone Wars, it is believed that Cad Bane directly killed several Jedi, although many of these Jedi are not named. It is also documented that on several occasions, Bane got the better of the Jedi, most notably coming into contact with the likes of Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and even Mace Windu, as well as the fact that he managed to break into the Jedi Temple itself, steal a holocron, and make it out alive, a feat that made him famous, and in some circles, infamous. Cad Bane is without a doubt one of, if not the greatest bounty hunter that has ever lived in the Star Wars universe, and it is in large part his fascination with the Jedi, their abilities to touch the Force, and the great power that it granted them, that garnered him such notoriety. Cad Bane made it clear on several occasions that he does not hate the Jedi, and that he also believes he can learn from their many gifts, including their ability to touch the Force. However, in the end, Cad Bane made it his mission to kill Jedi in order to further his own reputation. But anyway, my friends, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on Cad Bane and his obsession with killing Jedi? What are your thoughts on his appearance in the Book of Boba Fett, and what would you like to see from the notable bounty hunter? As always, my friends, thank you guys so much for watching and continuing to support the channel. May the Force be with you, and I hope you have a great day.